So I'm making this tutorial about wall sliding and the new text that I found for it in this new map that's coming up for it. So if you don't know about wall sliding, it's the basic tech that we can slide on these ladder walls. This is a common ladder, not grab ladder, and also referred to as sticky walls. So, and if you didn't know, you can just slide on these like in normal ground. Though sliding on these gains the slight upwards momentum if you can start to slide. So see, it depends on me holding W, and actually the upwards go is the same as the climb speed going up, I think. But what I found is that if by holding a strafe key against the wall, we can gain much more upwards momentum. And how much up we go depends on where we aim. So when we aim almost forward, we don't gain as much upwards momentum, or we don't go up as much, whereas if I aim in, we go up much more. Downside of just going up is that we lose speed quicker the more up we go, so we need to control for a lot of jumps, and a lot of the skill in this is controlling when and how to go up. Yeah, let's show just an example of a jump. And basic kind of jump going in the map is, and yeah, we can also do this on the other side with A instead of D, so just strafe in. But yeah, the basic jump here is this, just do this jump and we just go up. So yeah, that's basic techniques, and this shows quite a bit of this, what we can do with the jump. So let's go some different techniques you can use to control how we go up. So the most basic one is what I refer to as a smooth curve, where you just start aiming forward and go as a smooth curve like that. This is not always the optimal, in many cases it's actually not, but it's a very solid way of doing most jumps, and it's a very good basic to start from. But the basic thing is you want to start aiming forward and do a smooth curve along, so you end with the most up you want to be at the end. You can of course also do quick curves like that. You can do flicks. You can also hold the preset angle if you so want, though you tend to lose speed when you do so. If I hold the preset angle when I grab it, you see I lose a bunch of speed when I grab it, though if you just hold W before and then hold the preset angle, you don't lose that much speed. And that can go in on the next thing, which is delaying the strafe key, which is really helpful for jumps, especially when they get harder, and something you should learn because it gives you much more control, though it isn't necessary for early jumps. But the basic thing is, instead of doing the smooth curve I did before and I held both, I just hold W, and at the end I do a fast curve. This tends to be the optimal in many cases, because when you just hold W you have the minimum amount of speed loss, because you don't go as much up as you do with the other ways of when you hold double and strafe. Even if you aim almost forward, you're still going to lose a bit of speed. And to show an example where you better see how this is very important here, we have this can't go up, and then at the end want to go up. And that's also one of the things we can do. Another thing is this end flick, where we can suddenly change our direction up at the end by just doing a flick to kind of do a jump. So one more thing here is landing. If you want to land on one of these walls, you can see landing on top isn't very good. Instead, what you want to do is you want to delay the grab. And the simple thing is just don't look at the wall and you can delay the grab. And delaying grab can be useful for just grabbing normal walls too later, because we gain, or rather we don't lose speed at least when there, and we can still gain speed. But yeah, those are the most basic ways of doing these jumps, and should help you through most of the easier jumps. So some few warnings and things to look out for to also go over is, if you try and grab the wall too soon after, or start to slide too soon after jumping, you will get stuck. You need to have a certain amount of time delay from after you jump until you try and grab or start to slide. Additionally, you can notice that you can go quite low down before you drop, or you can go over a bit, though this depends on mapping. As you can see, I'm still on a wall slide. If you place a slick brush with something of that change property above, you can change this property so you can't go up, so there's hard locked edges. And I don't have the brush here, actually with ladder covers exactly this area, so if it is not that have an invisible box below, that's just how the game works. And you can't actually start a slide on this lower part, so if I... It's tricky to get here maybe, but yeah, I can try, sure. Yeah, you see I got stuck here instead and grabbed it, so you can't grab too low. So if you get stuck because you grab too low, you know why too. Yeah. So one more thing to go over is this curved wall. One of the issues with this is that you can't use shingles for curved walls because they don't work well at all with if you want to have a wall slide on the curve. So you had to use overlapping. So instead, to not get glitched with overlapping, you want to enter curved walls facing just forward and just double view. This is in general a very safe way. There are exceptions where you kind of want to delay a grab and stuff like that, but mostly this is the safe way to grab and then press the strafe key, which is the general technique. Most of the time, even if you want to go up soon after, you still want to grab a W and then press the strafe key a short bit after. Yeah. Other small things is just general crouch rules, so you don't want to hold crouch when in the air as much as possible, so you want to time your crouch as soon as possible to the grab. So that, and you want to release it as soon as possible after when you are in the air. Just basic things for that you should already be covering in the normal jumping. So yeah, I think I covered most of it. The one thing to go over is of course the key bindings. There's some issues maybe for some people depending on when you have the binds. I don't have any problem, but if you're a C presser, you're definitely going to have some problems with pressing C and strafe keys at the same time as forward and sprint. So you're probably not a good thing if you're a C presser. You need to change your bind. Examples are probably putting a crouch bind on a mouse button if you have one over, or just learning to have a second crouch key or something. This map in question uses infinite stamina, so you can just bind sprint on W at the same time as forward, but on other maps may use these features. Can be good to also have so you can use properly sprint, strafe keys and crouch at the same time as forward. But yeah, I think this covers it for the most part. There are an advanced technique I call boosting, but I'm not going to cover this now because it's not needed at all for basic jumps. But yeah.